Good morning, guys. So this is Soliman of BSN 2A, and today I'm going to discuss the pathophysiology of tracheoesophageal fistula and esophageal atresia. So, good afternoon. I'm going to discuss today the pathophysiology of tracheoesophageal atresia and fistula. I don't know if this disorder has a one pathophysiology, so I decided to create a separate pathophysiology for esophageal atresia and tracheoesophageal fistula. To start with, I'm going to start with esophageal atresia. So, according to Silbert, Flagg, and Pelletieri, esophageal atresia is the incomplete formation of the esophageal lumen, resulting for the esophagus to form a blind pouch which does not connect to any other structure in the body. So, for its pathophysiology, according to my research, it happened because of the abnormal development of tracheoesophageal septum. And this would lead to esophageal atresia. So, anatomically speaking, esophageal atresia is in the upper part of the body. Next is the tracheoesophageal fistula. Tracheoesophageal fistula occurs because there is an opening between the closed distal esophagus and the trachea. So, according to my research, its pathophysiology goes like this. So the possible etiology of tracheophageal fistula is because of abnormal septation of the caudal fergat during the 5th or 4th week of development, or it can be because of the congenital malformations, particularly cardiac defects. So these two will lead to so these two possible etiologies will lead to abnormal positioning of the tracheoesophageal septum. And now it will result to tracheoesophageal fistula. So I've said earlier that the other one, the esophageal atresia, is located in the upper part of the body, while this tracheoesophageal fistula develops in the lower part of the body. So according to the book of Pelletieri and Silbertlag, there are 5 types of esophageal atresia and tracheoesophageal fistula. So now I'm going to draw the 5 types one by one, and I'm going to explain it. So to begin with, so the first one is, this is the esophageal atresia. So as you can see, this is a super blind pouch. There are no connections on the other structures, and this one is the tracheoesophageal fistula. So an esophageal atresia, this is the most common type of esophageal atresia, and then the esophagus ends in the blind pouch. And then the yung trachea communicates with the fistula going to the lower esophagus and stomach. So approximately 90% of infants with this defect has this type A. Next, the type B. So goes this way. So in this case naman, both of esophageal atresia and tracheoesophageal fistula ends in blind pouch. So parehas lang sila, blind pouch. While this one, the fistula is not connected to the lower esophagus and trachea. So both upper and lower segments end in blind pouch, and according to the book, 5 to 8 infants with the defect have this type B. Okay? So the next type, letter type C. So the type C, both upper and lower segments communicate with the trachea. So yung fistula and the atresia, both connected siya and it both connects to the trachea. And then 2% to 3% of infants have this type of defect. Then letter D, the type D, so this type, so type D is a very rare type. As you can see, the atresia is connected na to the esophagus and trachea, while in this one, the fistula is the one in the blind pouch. So very rarely, the upper segment ends in a blind pouch, and it communicates by a fistula to the trachea. And then the last type, letter E. The last type is the type E. It says that a fistula connects to both upper and lower segments of the esophagus. So again, I will repeat. So type A is the most popular type of this disorder, that esophageal atresia and tracheoesophageal fistula. There's a type B, both blind. They are both blind pouches, and then the type C, fistula and the atresia are connected. Type D, the atresia lang yung connected to the trachea and esophagus, while the fistula is blind pouch. And the last type is both of them are connected to the trachea and esophagus. So no matter what type of tracheoesophageal fistula and esophageal atresia a child has, all of these are all serious disorders that needs immediate treatment, because when feeding, the milk can fill the blind pouch of the upper esophagus and then it will overflow to the trachea. On the other hand, in the case of fistula, it can allow the milk to enter the trachea from esophagus, resulting to aspiration. Even if not fed, the swallowed saliva of the baby will fill the esophagus and then it will overflow into the airway, and then it will result again to a repeated aspiration. This esophageal disorder can also lead to pneumonia because of the leakage of oral and stomach secretions into the lungs. So okay, that's all for today. I hope you learned something about my discussion of the pathophysiology of esophageal atresia and tracheoesophageal fistula. Take care always and stay at home.